Hello students, you are most welcome. As we discussed last lecture, the origin of drama, the basic characteristics or features of drama. After that, we discussed ancient Greek drama, its meaning, origin, and historical background of ancient Greek drama. Today's lecture, we will discuss Elizabethan drama. Fine. So let's start from introduction of Elizabethan drama. Drama is one of the major form of literature. It is enacted on the stage in the form of dialogues. The main functions of drama are to entertain and to teach. In this unit, students will get acquainted with golden age of the English drama. The Elizabethan drama, which is popularized by the notable contributions of William Shakespeare, his producers, his contemporaries, and his successors. In this age, drama was evolved from shorter religious plays of Middle Age, mysteries and miracles, moralities, interludes, and into full length plays which are divided into acts and scenes. Thus, this unit gives survey of origin and development of English drama. Next point is here is that presentation of subject matter. Elizabethan age is considered as the golden period of English drama. Historically, the age starts with the occasion of Queen Elizabeth to the English throne in 1558 and continues till the death of the Queen in 1603. But according to some critics, the Elizabethan age can be extended till the death of James I in 1625. This age is also called the age of Shakespeare in bracket 1564 to 1616 bracket complete, because the age is much dominated by the spectacular performance of William Shakespeare's plays. His works reflect the political, social, and literary aspects of the age. The Elizabethan drama can be divided into three phases. Pre-Elizabethan drama, the Elizabethan drama, and the post-Elizabethan drama. The first phase deals with the contributions of Shakespeare producers who really made the preparation of the great dramatic phase. The second one is related to the glorious achievements of Shakespeare, and the final phase deals with Shakespeare's successors who are profoundly influenced by the works of Shakespeare. Next point is there, section first, origin and development of Elizabethan drama. Drama had its origin in religion. In medieval period, the drama was originated from the attempts of clergy to teach the ignorant and illiterate masses the tenets of Christian faith by dramatizing the service of the church at the time of Christmas and Easter's. The plays performed were in Latin languages and clergymen were the actors. These scriptural plays became more popular after the starting of the Corpus Christi festival. These early shorter religious plays were based on the birth of Jesus Christ to his crucifixion and ascension. These scriptural plays enacted in a cycle of plays were called as miracle or mysteries. The plays which were dealing with the life of Jesus Christ were called mysteries, and those dealing with the lives of saints were called miracles. Later on, these religious plays were replaced by the morality plays. The morality plays were a sort of allegories of human life, showing man's conflict between God, good and evil. The characters in moralities were personified with virtue and vices. The good example of morality play was Everyman, in which allegorical characters are employed to examine the questions of Christian salvation. By the close of 15th century, with the advent of Renaissance, the revolutionary changes occurred in the history of England. It marked the end of the Dark Middle Age and the beginning of the modern world. In the early dawn of Renaissance, the religious plays, mysteries, and miracles declined, but the moralities were survived. They reflected the spirit of Reformed religion, humanism. John Skelton's Magnificence was an early morality play that attacked on the prodigality of Henry VIII. The reformers used moralities to propagate their own lives. David Lansley, satire of Three Estate, attacks on the clergy, the nobles, and the citizens. Bishop Bell's King John's combines history and morality. The secular moralities were later on developed into interludes. Moralities were didactic and allegorical, where interludes were light entertainments, full of guilty and humor. John Heywood, the master of interlude, made his form very popular. His most popular interlude, the Four P's, present four P's: a peddler, pardoner, a palmer, and pottery, who dispute among themselves to tell the biggest lie. In the mid 16th century, under the influence of classics, the English drama was evolved into full length plays, dividing into different acts and scenes. The first English comedy, Ralph Roister, written by Nicholas Udall, was performed in 1553. It had 5 acts and was modeled on the Latin comedy Plautus and Terence. Then some farcical comedies were written. The play Needle, written by Grammar Curtain, was the most entertaining one. These comedies were considered as the precursors of the later full-fledged English comedy. The real development came into English drama in the form of tragedy, when it was a joint effort of lawyers. Sackville and Norton produced the first tragedy, Gorboduc or Ferex Porrex. They were influenced by the Roman tragedian Seneca. Since the Puritan dominated the Corporation of London, the dramatic performances were strictly prohibited in municipal campus. Therefore, the performances were shifted outside the city, and thus the first concrete theatre was built in 1576 on the banks of river Thames by James Burbage, called the theatre. Later on, in 1598, the famous The Globe Theatre was established, and other theatres like the Rose, the Fortune, the Swan, and the Blackfriar came into existence. Thus, the establishment of theatres promoted more and more for the professional writers to write plays for the growing spectators.